the AS Douanes team and River Hoopers, they clashed to determine the third and fourth seeds, and AS Douanes came out victorious with a 63 performance to River Hoopers 57, and this game was decided by 6 points. It was a clutch game all through, and it was another thrilling game where, as I saw it live, and in attendance, the attendance records are just through the roof, because in this game we had 5,922 people in attendance watching this, and it was a game that I must say showed that the AS Douanes are here to stay, and they clinched the third seed, while the River Hoopers number 4. So the River Hoopers, they didn't have a good game shooting wise as well as the AS Douanes. This game was a grueling game. I can say it was one of the most inefficient games we have seen in recent times, and the inefficiency of the AS Douanes team has caught up to them, as per recording of this video. The AS Douanes, they blew a 20-point lead to the Petro de Luanda team, and they got knocked off in the first round. So it's not a good look. And also, as per recording of this video, the River Hoopers knocked off the US Monastir team, and I'm going to talk about that in great detail in the coming videos, because the first round was just an upset galore. I was just thinking about how many teams just got upset. US Rabat out, US Monastir out, Al Ahly, the defending champions, out. They are outed by the Al Ahly Benghazi team from Libya, and man, AS Douanes is out. So the first round was a bit thrilling, and we got to see a couple of things. But in this one, I'll just make sure to just focus on the classification game and just give some insight as to what happened. So this is a very inefficient game. AS Douanes 27% field goal shooting, and it was not a good look, as even on the 2-point field goals they really struggled, despite the poor free throw percentage coming from both sides. The River Hoopers were dominant when it came to converting in the field goal area, just near the rim, inside the arc, because on 2-point field goals they were 47%. This was what propelled them to be able to go ahead and beat the USM team in the games in the first round. But the AS Douanes were not having it, and they were able to just go ahead and win this game. So David Icke from the River Hoopers, he had 11 points. Peter Olisemeka, he had 13 total rebounds. Kevin Amayo, he did 7 assists. Kevin Amayo was a bit off when it came to scoring, but he was able to facilitate with 7 assists and 4 rebounds. But if you look at the other side of the AS Douanes, Amadou Haruna, he's that guy that I was monitoring closely, and he has been sensational. He has been good, but scoring wise in this game, he was only limited to 16 points. Madut Akech, he had 13. Mike Fofana, he came out with his 7 rebounds, and Madut Akech, he had 4 assists, especially came to facilitation. But the AS Douanes team, they lost the rebounds battle to the River Hoopers. Despite the win, they got a rebounded 58 to AS Douanes 47, and in the assists, the AS Douanes were 1 assist shy from tying the River Hoopers. But the AS Douanes team, the thing that made them just get over the edge was the fact that they were able to pick the River Hoopers' pockets, and they were able to amass 16 steals through the game, and River Hoopers had a record 9 blocks in this game. So this back and forth affair that was going on here was just great, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. Will Perry for the River Hoopers, he wasn't as popping when it came to scoring, because he only had 3 points on 1 of 6 shooting and 3 turnovers, to coupling the 3 turnovers and his 4 assists. Not a good look, because he had the most negative plus minus on the team, followed by Kevin Amayo. Kevin Amayo, he played 28 minutes, north of 29 minutes, and he had 7 points on 3 of 11. You can see horrendous shooting splits, and his 7 turnovers were glaring. What the reason as to why the River Hoopers were not able to do anything. And Devin Eke, he had 5 turnovers. Peter Olisemeka's 4 turnovers. So the starting 5 that were on the lineup: Will Perry, Kevin Amayo, Peter Olisemeka, Devin Eke, and John Wilkins. They were just turnover machines, because the guys from the bench, out of the 22 turnovers, we had 19 turnovers coming from only 4 players on the team, and they played heavy minutes in this game. So it speaks to it. This one spoke volumes as to how the River Hoopers looked, but all of that was erased when the River Hoopers were able to make quick work of the US Monastir team, which we're going to cover in the next video. So the AS Douanes team, I expect John Jackie's Boise to be able to get over the hump in the next game that they played, and so he did, especially when it came to the US Monastir game. But in this one, he had 8 points, and he was 2 of 9 shooting from the field, and he had 5 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 3 steals. Not the most eye-popping, but not the most eye-popping performance, but still got the job done. Then you had Chris Obekpa. I must say this man has been short of embarrassing and disappointing, because in 15 minutes of play, he recorded 0 points. He only attempted 3 field goals but missed all of them, and 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. So the man was just straight up Dennis Rodman in there. Even that Dennis Rodman role, he didn't even do his job as per the stipulation of his position as a center forward. So Amadou Haruna, he played 28 minutes, 16.6 of 19 shooting. Not the efficient, because he was 31%. He had a record 5 steals. And he was part in the reason as to why the AS Douanes were able to go ahead and just take apart the River Hoopers and just show a snippet on how to be the River Hoopers. Unfortunately, the US Monastir team were not able to understand that fact, and they got eliminated in the first round. But overall, it was a murky game, especially shooting-wise, and I've seen the River Hoopers really, really struggle, especially if Will Perry is not able to be consistent. The team really struggles. And Kevin Amayo, he's that person that the River Hoopers really, really depended on in the Sahara Conference, and without their productivity and having them working on full cylinders, there's a high likelihood that they're not able to convert on them shots, and the game just becomes much more difficult for them to be able to do anything and to be able to add any productivity in there. So it was a coming out party. I must say it's a game that showed me a lot of things, and the head-to-head matchups they have also been epic, because we saw the AS Douanes matchup against the River Hoopers a while back. The River Hoopers 77 to AS Douanes 68, and we had the 2-point game that the AS Douanes won, and the AS Douanes won that game 56 to River Hoopers 54, and in this recent game, 63 AS Douanes and 57 River Hoopers. So this matchup, I must say, the AS Douanes team, despite being able to win games, sometimes exhibit one of the most inefficient basketball games, and they're not as entertaining or thrilling games to watch. And because of that, it becomes ugly, but a win gets established if they just stick to the way they play. But in the next couple of videos, we'll get to see the real reason as to why the AS Douanes were not able to get over the hump. But all I must say is the River Hoopers in this game, I noticed they had a very poor start. They had a very poor start to start, because in the first quarter, they only had 9 points. And looking at the AS Douanes team, they had 22. So when I saw that, when it just played out slowly, I just knew for a fact that we're in for a very, very long game. And that was the highest performing quarter for the AS Douanes. But when you look at the other preceding quarters, the second, third, and fourth, you could see there was a valiant effort for the River Hoopers to be able to cut the deficit, especially when it came to the second quarter, where the River Hoopers, they scored 14 points to AS Douanes 15, and they were scoring at a similar clip, but the AS Douanes team was still ahead. But the River Hoopers turned out very small with a 5-point third quarter. This is the lowest scoring quarter I've witnessed, and so you've seen from the River Hoopers. It was a murky game from the River Hoopers side, and their poor free throw percentage, shooting percentages, they just came in to roost. And their inability to be able to draw fouls and get to the line was glaring. Even despite the strong 29-point fourth quarter performance that the River Hoopers put up, still, it was not enough to be able to get the River Hoopers the win, because it was too little too late. Even despite Douanes' poor performance in the second half, still, Douanes were able to outlast them. And that's just a roundup of what happened in this classification games. And in the next video, I'll be just looking at the knockout games, the games that were deciding who's going to proceed to the next round. And I must say, they have just been short of they have not been short of any entertainment and surprises, because they've seen a couple of upsets, and we're going to look at that in the next video. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about this. I'm going to talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.